I hate talking about the fact that my brother passed, but he passed away August 6, 2021. 3 days before I started filming the HBO show that I was on. When the call came to me, my dad called me screaming. And I'm asleep, and I hung the phone up. I'm like, oh, that's a bad dream. Like, let me wake up, And I looked at my phone. It was a bunch of missed calls. So I was like, it's not a dream. I'm living my dream and my nightmare at the same time.
We're Elisa and Lily, the mother-daughter creators of StyleLikeU, and after interviewing hundreds of trailblazing individuals for our channel, we've been inspired to join the conversation and ask,
what would the world look like if everyone was told from the moment they were born, don't change a thing? What a different world that would be. I'm really, really grateful that you're here and that you're doing this with us. And I really appreciate it. I've been like jumping up and down, everyone knows, since I had the Zoom with you. And we're always just digging around for the most authentic people that we can find to have these conversations with. And we have to dig a lot.
Alignment.
So how are you feeling today and right now?
I feel good. I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
My dad asked me when I was a kid, and I always ask people, he was like, you rather wake up on the right side of the wrong bed or the wrong side of the right bed? And I'm like, what? And then so till this day, I ask myself that probably once a week. I'm like, Jonica, do you rather wake up on the right side of the wrong bed or the wrong side of the right bed?
Which one is it? You want to wake up on the right side of the wrong bed?
So there's no answer.
There's no
it's
answer.
Whatever you think. But I remember him looking at me because I said, well, I'd rather wake up on the right side of the wrong bed. Mm-hmm. And he was like, of course he said, why? And I said, because that means that I'm on the right side, and no matter what bed I'm in, I'm waking up on the right side of who I am. And it makes me just be like easy going,
Right. It sort of sounds like a version of like you can't control the outside world, but you can control your own self and how you show up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you get to that point, when I got to that point, it was just like, whew. Because things are just like easy going. Like it's just, and that's, I live a very like free life because of that mindset. Keep in mind it's a choice because I'm human. And this is new for me, but some days I wake up and I got to do this. But then some days I'm waking up and it's like, I get to do this. I'm running behind, so I won't be able to get to that. And that's okay. You get what I'm saying? Like, I just have to say, it's okay.
Let go.
It's okay.
It's okay. And like, and what that is like this understanding that it's not the outside things that determine whether you're okay. Like you are okay.
Was there like something specific that shifted you from like the I have to do this to I get to do this like mindset?
I hate always talking, like I tell you, I hate talking about the fact that my brother passed, and not that I hate the conversation, it's just I be feeling like it's a sad topic and it make everybody sad. I'm like, I'm not trying to do that. But him passing showed me a lot of the question that you're asking, because it was like, I get to do this. He can't do this. And this was somebody where my last conversation with him before he passed transition was, oh, I'm going to start traveling and I'm going to come, because I kept saying, come to LA, come visit. He was like, I'm going to start traveling. He worked for the post office. And he was like, he had just got a new job. He was waiting to see if he was going to get the job. And at his funeral, we read that he got the job. Yeah, he was like, I'm about to start making $100,000. So we was excited. And he was saying all these things that he was going to do. And he don't get to do it. So that changed my perspective of like, wait, I get to do these things, you know? And it's okay, and relax, and these things, it's like him transitioning calmed me. And I don't, it relaxed me, and that's crazy, but
it's not crazy.
When I think about it,
It's not at all.
I don't think it's sad or crazy. I understand it, but at the same time, I think it's interesting to look at why we feel we need to apologize when we talk about someone passing, like when that's it's as much a part of life as like that we're here.
Yes.
Like why are we apologizing for that experience, or like for making people have to confront that experience?
Yes. I love that perspective, because I always, of course we all feel like sorry if I'm down in a situation, but it's like if you guys could get in my body and my mind and see what I'm thinking about before I say this, you'll know I'm not sad. Like all the tears aren't sad. Like we miss a person, we miss a lot of things, but I'm not Like, it don't be me bringing it up don't be like a sad thing. So I love your perspective for that, because it's like I'm not apologetic. The great thing that I got, like, we know that grief is sad. That's what we know. It's across the board for every person, race, gender, anything. However, this time, every time I bring it up, it's not a sad thing. It's like I see the correlation to my happiness. I see what it did do, and but who knows? Tonight, look, I tell people, grief, you don't have no control of it. Tonight I could be bawling my eyes out because I miss them, and I don't know what will happen. But thank God that thank God that I'm more like mature with my feelings now, and I don't try to hold that pain.
You don't resist it.
I don't resist. It hurt. Have you ever? We all human. We've been killed. Have you ever just tried to hold a cry in? That shit hurt. Like your face hurt, your head start hurting, your chest tighten up, and it's like, bitch, just cry. Like, just let it out. Like,
and then how much better you feel when you do it.
Yeah, it's like, oh. I'm like, well, that was a good cry, wasn't it? Like, just get it out. Why do we do that to ourselves? Who are we impressing? The people around that don't care about it? You know what I'm saying?
Is that a pendant of him? Is that your brother?
Yeah, that's him when he was 3. He passed when he was 29 from asthma. 3 days before I started filming the HBO show that I was on.
No way.
That I felt like I felt like Ashton Cook. I'm like, I'm getting punked because I'm a comedian. My role is comedy, and I have to go and be funny. And I didn't want to tell anybody because this was my first like major role. I didn't tell Issa Rae. I didn't tell. Only person I told was my manager, and that's because I knew that she needed to book my flight home, And we were already getting a break for Labor Day. So we just had to film for 3 days, then we were getting a break. So I didn't say nothing. I just went to work.
Wow. No, that's so intense.
What's funny, I can't even watch the first season because I'm like, it sucks. Like, look at me. I don't know how.
Yeah, you were like, who that was.
I don't know
what was
how
happening.
I did it. But I was in fear of telling them and then them thinking I wasn't capable because they don't know me. Second season, I earned whoever I am to them, they figured it out. My character spoke for itself, whether good or bad, whatever they took from it. But first season, they had nothing to go off of. So I'm like, they'll replace me. And then I'm like, wait, am I being wrong to my family? Like, am I doing something wrong? Like, am I choosing work over this? But then I'm like, it's not like he coming back. But then I had just talked to him the day before. He was excited. It was so many thoughts running through my head, And I remember my mom was everybody like, I'm going to come out to Miami with you because I was out there filming. And I wouldn't let anybody come. I said, because if you come, I'm going to remember what you're here for.
And then I'm going to,
I won't make it, But now I can, in my mind, I was saying he's at work and he's this. And, imagine reading lines, studying a script, arguing with God. Like, me and him wasn't cool. Me and God was beefing. I'm going crazy in this condo, Like, I think I was functionally depressed. So, but yeah, my friend ended up getting this picture of him for me, and I put it on a chain. And I wear it as much as I can. I like it, And then today I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw it around some pearls. I'm just now getting into pearls.
I love it.
I love it with the pearls. But can I just say that he also showed you how strong you are.
Humans are sick. We have these sick thoughts like, if this person died, I'm going to do this and I won't be able to do this. And I thought those things, and it was actually the opposite. But I appreciate, that talk with him the day before. It was like he had been calling me. I was busy. I'm like, I'm studying. And this particular night, I said, call him back. And we talked for about 2 hours about so many things. So who would have known that probably 12 hours later I'm getting a call saying, I'm like, he what? When the call came to me, my dad called me screaming. And I'm asleep. I was actually in the hotel at the time. I didn't even go to the condo yet. We did the hotel, and then we were Labor Day and was coming back. So I was in the hotel, and I hung up. He was like, Chubb passed. And I hung the phone up. I'm like, oh, that's a bad dream. Like, let me wake up, And then I woke up, and I stood up, looked out the window, and I looked at my phone. It was a bunch of missed calls. So I was like, it's not a dream. So then I called back, and I didn't say nothing. I just called, but my dad was just screaming.
Wait, you had a dream first and then it was real, or you thought it was a dream the first time you talked to him?
Dream.
Okay.
Because I was literally asleep.
Yeah, right.
So the first person that called was my brother's mom, but I didn't. And I was asleep. I didn't cry for a second. I made some calls. Nobody answered because it was so late. It was like 4 a.m. It was like 3 a.m. Nobody answered. I'm calling everybody. My mom, nobody's picking up. And I blew my sister's phone up, and then she answered, and she was in Chicago. And I guess her boyfriend said something to her, and I heard her say, her fucking brother died. I think I just want to tell somebody. Because once I said it, tears just start falling. And I think I needed to get it out, you know? And I was like, yeah, that's what happened. Like, I didn't believe it. I looked in the mirror, and I'm like, yeah. And then I had to take a COVID test at 9 a.m.
For the show.
Because I'm at work. I get up, I go to work. So it's 5.
Oh,
I didn't
go
up the whole night.
I didn't go to sleep. And then I got up, you know, I physically got up, showered. I went to the set and was talking to everybody. Nobody know what's going on.
Oh,
then we had a meeting with HBO executives on Sunday. The leads, us three leads. A meeting, like a fun brunch. So we all went to go look for something to wear. So I rode with the girls.
Oh my God.
They don't even know my ear pod is in. And my dad's still screaming. He's been screaming for about 8 hours at this.
You mean you're on the phone with him still?
In my ear. I'm in it. I kept calling back, you know, cause
oh my God.
checking in and out. And he's in my ear just screaming, and my grandma and everybody. And I'm in the back seat and tears.
Shopping.
Tears was just rolling down my face. They didn't look back. They playing music. But I didn't want to tell anybody, especially my cast. And
did anybody notice?
No, I was wiping them. And then I remember saying, I'm going to catch an Uber. I'm going to go back home. You know, I didn't buy nothing. I couldn't function. You know, nobody know what I just dealt with. But then I go to set. I became very close with a girl named Brooklyn. She was the assistant for the showrunner. And she seen a necklace that I had on, and she said, my sister had that necklace. And I said, oh, thank you. You know, this was on set on Tuesday. I was like, thanks. She said, yeah. I said, you said had. How many sisters do you have? She was like, well, I had 2. One of them transitioned. And I was like, oh, okay. And keep in mind, my brother had just passed Friday. This is Tuesday. She said, how many siblings do you have? And that question fucked me up. I was like, well, I have, 4 brothers. I said, well, 5. Well, I got 4 and I got 5. And I just started stuttering. And she looking at me. And then I was like, and they're on set. So you hear cut, action, cut, you know. And I just looked at her and my eyes got buck. And I whispered, I said, I don't want you to think I'm crazy. I said, one of my brothers passed Friday. And I don't know if I should count them. And she just looked. And her eyes welled up. And I was like, I got to go. And she came to me. She knew. And she came to me that night. That night she came to my hotel. And she was like, you got to eat. She brought me food. You know, I didn't know. I wasn't eating. I didn't know. I was just like, I'm fine. Like, I thought I was fine. I was living my dream and my nightmare at the same time.
Okay, so we're going to circle back to like all of this in a second.
It.
But before we do that, can you tell us about your outfit right now and what it says about where you're at in your journey?
I think I'm so tough. Like, I'm so... people that I've dated say that I'm so tough. I'm really so sensitive, you know? And I think I'm trying to show that more, you know. A lot of people say I'm my soft girl era and all that. And for the longest, I thought soft girl meant you have to be glam, you know?
Or super feminine, femme.
Yeah, like... heels, because I wear heels, you know. I just a face full of makeup and just glam. But for me, my definition of being a soft girl is literally being. It's me being that. And I think that's the unlearning that I'm doing right now. That unlearning of you can change your mind. That's what I do love about, you know, I'm from St. Louis. It's like when I was home, I was putting on clothes that I thought was cool. But when I'm here, I put on things that feel good. Well, I didn't know I was going to come to LA. I didn't even think LA I knew it was a place, but I didn't think you can go. Prior to, I did a reality show. And on the reality show, it was in Chicago, so it was my first time like staying somewhere for a long period of time other than St. Louis. And Well, no, I did college, but I was still in Missouri. When I did college, I was in Missouri because I didn't leave the state like that. When I did the reality show, they took us to Barcelona. When I went to Barcelona, I'm like, oh, it is a world out here that you can go to. It's not just in the books. Like, it might sound crazy, but we didn't have this social media like this to where you know these places are tangible. I'm in St. Peter's. It's on the outskirts of St. Louis, you know? So I'm in the suburbs, and I thought this was it. I'm thinking my dream job, like at that time, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna work at a bank. I'm gonna be a big bank teller. Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't think these things was possible. So after I did the show, I'm so appreciative of doing that show because it showed me that there's a world out here. As soon as it was over, I came back to St. Louis, and then shortly after I moved to Atlanta. So at that time, I became like a rock star because I'm off a reality show. To people, they labeled me as a chick magnet on the show. So now I got, like, women love me. Now now I'm out with my sexuality. It's pride. I don't know nothing about pride or none of that. I'm getting paid to show up to pride events. It's just gay galore. I'm out in these events kicking it. And I don't even know what to do. They're just like, I'm showing up places and these people got my shirt on and holding signs up. And I'm like, I'm famous, you know? And I remember telling my mom as a kid, she'll tell people, like Jonica always said, I used to say, Mama, be famous. So when I finally got fame, I learned really quickly that you have to be intentional with what you ask for. I don't want fame. I don't want fame. I wish I could tell anybody you don't want to be famous because fame doesn't come with wealth. I thought they came together. I thought they was connected. Fame does not come with money. And I learned that very quickly. I didn't want to come to LA. I thought it was too expensive. I didn't think I could make it. And again, I thought it was for movies. Like, at this point, we got social media, but I'm still thinking, everybody out there, actors and stuff, I'm not an actor. I'm a reality star and I go to clubs. Like, you know, I'm thinking I can't go there. I can make it in Atlanta. And I come out here, tell me why my sister, after 6 months of being out here, she tells me I'm about to move to Atlanta. I thought I seen a ghost. I said, you about to do what? You gonna move? You gonna go, like, out of all the cities and states, you're gonna go to Atlanta, Georgia? After I wouldn't even be here. But that's why I say, God, He knew I was supposed to be here, or she, whoever, whatever you are, God. Look, she knew I was supposed to be here, and it's where I was supposed to be here. It was something here for me that I was scared, and I was letting fear keep me, complacent. And I was like, I'm not going out there. I'm not. And now that when I got here, I started doing commercials. And I started doing comedy, stand-up comedy. And these are things that I would have never thought. I started acting. And it made me separate. I knew then I didn't want to be like a social media influencer. I want to be an actress. Well, artist. I am an actress. Artist. I'm an artist, yeah. It's like, what's your purpose? You know, I have a friend named Stevie Baggs, and he always say, what does your dash mean? Meaning you were born this date, dash until what are you gonna do with your dash? And that means a lot to me. That resonates with me because I'm like, what is my purpose? Are you gonna get rich posting flat tummy tea, saying buy this tea, you're gonna lose some weight, and I'm not even doing it? You know, like, who are you?
Who are you, and like, why are you here? Yeah,
you're fake. I'm being fake. I'm being everything that I say. Like, oh, that's a fake person. You're fake, Jonica. You know, and I had to realize that, and I just stopped. I stopped accepting all that. I stopped, and my mom was like, well, how you gonna pay your bills? I said, I don't know. And I said, that's between me and God to figure out. I don't know. So I started moving with my feelings. Like, what do you feel? People don't know. Your body literally tells you things. Our body
everything
tells us. It's a healer.
How is it? What was it telling you?
It was saying you're gonna be okay. And that was the scariest thing.
How was your body telling you?
I was getting anxious because I knew I was ready to make a move and stop doing these things, stop accepting this money, stop doing, and I was getting anxious. My heart would just beat. I was getting a lot of headaches. Like, I was just, my body was, what's crazy is, I'm glad you asked that question because I never correlated pain with that, but it could have been They could have all been, because I was sick a lot, you know. I just was.
You mean like maybe were you sick when you were still doing the stuff? Like the stuff that you didn't feel aligned with? Like it was making you feel sick?
I don't know.
Yeah,
but I know you get what I'm saying? Like, we don't correlate those things. But it's like, it could be. Like,
but of course, like
stress.
Your body is responding to all that you're putting into it. Like,
it was becoming stressful. And I don't know, was I getting sick because I'm stressed? But why are you stressed? I'm stressed because I got to make sure this video that I post is better than the last one. And I got to make sure that this video get this many likes. Oh my God, I didn't get that many likes in this many minutes. Let me delete it and do it again. You know, that was becoming a thing.
Yeah, we've been there. Yeah.
I'm just in a place now, I post.
You don't look. Yeah.
Or I look. But
you don't care.
It don't matter.
So can we hear more about like the process of like starting to say no to these things and like being in the unknown of how you were gonna like find your path again, and like what happened there?
It's like, it's really a blur. I just stopped accepting. I was just stopped accepting the emails. I stopped doing it, and I started like birthday and Christmas. My mom always give me something, and just because she like, what is it that you want right now? And I'm like, I need a camera, or I need acting classes, you know. And I started asking for things that could help me with this path, this unknown path. I needed it. Even if I never did anything with acting, I needed it, because what acting does is strip you. It strips you naked. It makes you naked, because you have to be okay with being uncomfortable. So me coming from something where I was trying to be, acting says, no, you need to just be. You know, I was trying to make sure I look right and don't have bumps on my face and don't be human. I was trying to filter and makeup and, you know, considering changing my body with things. And then I was like, that was short-lived, because I'm like, I'm not doing that, you know. But that's what was being, you know, pressure. That's the pressure of being in this industry. And then I had to make a decision, and I just started doing things that like we keep talking about, that felt aligned. And I'm like, all right, now it's time. Now it's time. I was separating myself from that. So it's like, you know, you're turning down thousands, knowing that you have nothing. I have nothing. I got like, I pay my rent and that's it. I probably got like $200-$300, if that. Sometimes $50, $60, and you couldn't tell. I would sit just like this, whether I had $10,000 or $2, because I started realizing that that's not, money isn't who I am, and you're gonna be okay. And if you're not, I'm blessed. I'm fortunate. I can go home. So I think that was something else that helped me being maneuvering through this industry and saying no to things, because I do know that I have something to run to.
Well, that not only run to, but that the love that they gave you is the love,
giving you the strength,
gave you the strength and the love to love yourself.
That they support. My mom support everything I do. My dad, they always supported anything that I've done.
And to go through this unknown thing, to be in alignment with yourself,
to take the risk.
Yeah, and how long you knew you were safe to do that ultimately, because of their love.
And that's what I feel like every kid deserves, is to be safe.
And so how long did this unknown, uncertain period last? And like, was the role on the show like the thing that changed that, or was there other things along the way?
No, it was commercials. But no, the role is what really changed it. Because it was like I financially got something that was like.
But you had to go through like how long of the like hard time, or of the?
I went through. I didn't book it to 21, 20. 17. I was out here 17, 18, 19, 20. About 3 or 4 years.
In it, like with a lot of uncertainty.
A lot of uncertainty, yeah. 3 or 4. And it's crazy saying that out loud. That's crazy. Because I didn't know I went through it that long. Because if you ask me, I don't think I could do it. You know, I'd be like, I can't do that. But I did it. And I did it. And my mom used to always just say, how? She was like, I'm just proud of you. And
how would you, if you had to put into words, like, how do you deal with uncertainty, or did you deal with uncertainty? Like, what was your, because I think some people struggle with that and then latch on to something that feels like comfortable but maybe not what they actually want. Like, how internally, did you have any practices that like helped you
I knew
maneuver?
I knew that I needed to be uncomfortable to thrive. I thrive best when I'm uncomfortable. You know, when I'm too comfortable, then I don't do nothing. And it's kind of what I'm experiencing now. What's funny is I'm not I'm comfortable enough to where it's like, if I work out, cool. If I don't, cool. You know, my first tape was horrible. So I wouldn't have called me back either. I think I just knew that I was capable
of more,
but I didn't the girl Chastity, Chastity is a stud, a dominant, a more masked lesbian. And I didn't audition as Chastity. I auditioned as Jonica, a tomboy. You know, and it wasn't the character at all. And that was a rude awakening for me, learning to study these characters. That's back to respecting the craft. So I got back in acting class so that I can understand this character breakdown. That I didn't get him Chastity, so no wonder they didn't call you back, Jonica. But anyway, the second tape I studied much more. I listened to their notes. I did it. I do the self tape. Cool. Next thing you know, they told me, okay, Issa want to meet me on Zoom. So Issa wanted me to audition in front of her. And I'm like, I'm still not checking the DM. Like, fuck that. I'm good. But while Issa was like 30 minutes, they were 30 minutes behind on my audition. Like, they got to me late. And the casting director DM'd me and said, hey, Jonica, we're running behind. And I seen it. And I'm like, that let me know, she definitely seen it. Like, yeah. So, cause she didn't take email my team. She DM'd me back, and I'm
communicate directly.
Yeah. So I was like, my heart dropped. I'm like, I wrote back, okay, you know. And then next thing you know, Issa didn't see it until I booked the role. Once I booked the role, we all went to eat, and then me, Issa, Sarita, and the other cast or whatever, and we took a picture after it, and she posted and tagged me. So when she tagged me, she went to DM. Nope. And she literally sent the message. She said, I wish I would have screen recorded this video that you sent me. And I'm like, I'm so embarrassed, and I'm so glad you did it.
Oh my God. So she didn't see it until after,
after the casting director did.
Yeah.
The casting director saw it.
Yeah.
That's why I think I got to redo the tape.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But what's so amazing is that, I mean, what an incredible story on so many levels, because you just were your natural self, and that's what made you get it. Like it was like you were just,
or just like,
well, you were sort of not nervous.
Yeah, I wasn't nervous.
I mean, you were, yeah.
The stakes were, and that's what I have to tell myself. I have to remind myself the stakes are always low. No matter how big this is, the stakes are low. Just go.
What would you say is like the biggest act of self-love that you've ever done for yourself? Like taken for yourself, step of some kind.
Self-love.
I mean, you might have already spoken about it. Like some of these things that you talked about to me seem like big acts of self-love, like saying no to the money that didn't feel aligned. And that seems like self-love. But what comes to mind to you?
Right now, I'm trying to move to where everything I do is self-love. I don't know what my biggest was, has been in my past, but I do know what I'm aiming for, which is I want every day to be geared towards self-love.
Well, I can name two of them. What was really clear to me is when you made it was a huge act of self-love to quit what you were doing, to make that change, even though it was sort of on the surface, the easier. You took the uncomfortable and unknown. And that's a huge act of self-love. Like that's really trusting in yourself and really trusting in the universe, trusting in trusting that you're here for a reason, trusting that you're big, that you're not supposed to be small.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be. You're right. That's crazy. But yeah, and I think what an issue that I face being around so much greatness, being in LA, you're around so many dope people and people that's just doing more than you. So I think because of that, I don't recognize the things that I have accomplished sometimes. And that's something else I need to work on, So I guess another act of self-love that I've done after the example you've given was to choosing to keep working, because I could have just, and when my brother passed, I could have just, that was like,
I was going to say that was the other one.
Yeah, me too. I was about to say that.
Really?
Too.
I love me. I know that this is big for me. And I know that this tragic moment is big for me. But this is something that my heart was yearning. I've been asking for this for my whole life. God literally gave me exactly what I asked for. But he also gave me something that I didn't ask for. So that was I had to make a decision for me. And I couldn't let anybody choice or decision affect what I had already made up. You know, that was something nobody could have talked to me about that. Not my mom. There's nothing that no human on earth could have said for me. I had to sit by myself. I had to sit in stillness, and I had to ask these questions.
And I'm sure your brother would not have wanted to have gotten in the way of your dream.
I was thinking about what he would say, and I could hear his voice. I could see his smile. I could just see it all of him saying, girl, you better go get that money. Like, I can just see him saying that. So that was another thing. Like, I'm like, he would be pissed if I didn't take, you know. So it was just so much that went into it. But I will say the ultimate thing was just me knowing that I deserved, you know. And we all try to, well, I know me, I've tried to dim my light because I be around people who don't have the things that I have. And it's not that I have so many cool things. No, even as a kid, they didn't have the dad that I had, the mom that I had, the siblings, you know, the grandmother, the love. So I just try to act like I don't have, but nah, I deserve everything that I have and more, and this role, and that's why I made the choice. Like, this was for me. It's unfortunate that this happened, but they can coexist, and they're going to. I don't know how, but we're gonna figure this out. You can't have worry and faith, you know. You gotta pick one. So
what did the grief look like when you
finally got to soak in it? Well, I will say real quick, that day I was on set and was like breaking. I was ready to quit. That was the day where I said, I'm not gonna I can't do this. Like, now it's you at your thrust, you know.
How far into it were you? Where were you?
We were halfway. We was halfway, and it was a big scene of me yelling, and but they kept saying redo it, and I thought it was my work. Turns out it wasn't, but none of that mattered. It was just the environment. It was just high, you know. And I remember we came up, and the director Lawrence, he said, "All right, we're ready." And Issa never comes up. Issa Rae came up, and she said, give me 5 minutes," and she told me to come here. And she didn't do stuff like that. You know, at this point, she's new, you know, in my life, and we're not friends. She's my boss. So when she said, come here, I'm thinking, I'm really, like, I suck. You know, like, you're right, Jonica, you sucking today. And we go in the back, and she just like touched my arm, and she said, you're doing great. And like it's going to be okay or something. Whatever she said, I told her to stop. I said, you gonna make me cry. I am sensitive. Like, do not do that. And, you know, but I needed that. You get what I'm saying? Like, even though I told her thank you and just said, I said, you gonna make me cry like that. And we just went out. Because she not no emo, you know what I'm saying? But it was like the fact that she did that, I appreciated that, and I needed that. That's why I was saying, like, I don't know that I need stuff until afterwards. And it's like, oh, I needed that. So after we filmed, finished filming that season, the show didn't come out for probably almost half a year later. So towards the end of the, you know, like that July. So I spent that time grieving. And I tell people you know, it's so many things. You know, my brother wasn't murdered. He was, you know, he the only thing that's guaranteed in life is death. So that what happened was supposed to happen. And aside of that, God did it. I as mad as God that I was, I appreciate how she carried me through that process. My brother's name is Kendall, but we call him Chubb. But I said, it's so funny that Chubb gave me so much more. You know, he gave me, it's not like I feel a loss. He's gone in the flesh, but he's doing so much.
What would you say is like the biggest thing that he taught you?
The past, it taught me that it's going to be okay. Like, oh, that's what grief feel like? Ooh, okay. You know, because the older we get, the more we deal with it. We lose more people though than we get. You know, so it taught me that, okay, it's going to hurt. There are levels, there are steps. You will be a different person. You know, I became so dismissive. And that's another thing that I'm working on myself, and nonchalant. And those aren't good, you know, those aren't good signs. So it's like we always talk about the good things about ourselves, but those are some flaws that I have that I believe come from that. And that's the part where I'm like, okay, he taught me that it's going to be okay, but I'm also not in fear. No, I'm not going to say not in fear, because I am in fear of losing everybody. I'm also just like, my mindset is skewed, and I need to change it. That's something I have to work on, because I'm kind of in like everybody leave, you know? And it's like I'm not chasing, but like when something, I don't try to fix things that I probably would have, because I feel like, what you gonna do, leave? Okay.
Like you have a wall up of some kind around like letting people in because
we touched on this.
Because it might mean you lose them.
Relationships,
I don't know.
Intimate relationships.
Yeah, my intimate. I suck at intimacy right now, like that connection, because I don't know. I don't know if I don't want to give these feelings. I don't know if I have them. I just don't. Everybody disappoints you. Things disappoint you, you know, whether it's cheating or whether it's death. And those are two separate extremes. You know what I'm saying? But it's a disappointment.
And like there's you allowed yourself to be vulnerable enough to be able to receive love in the form of money, love in the form of success, you know, and now like, this is just another layer, I guess.
Yeah, find that vulnerability, and
you have to be vulnerable in order for any of these things for you to be able to like take it in.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But it's terrifying, and I can imagine more terrifying now that you've experienced such loss. Like, it's like I don't want to do that again.
I don't want to do that again. Yeah. People are they make us feel like we're so disposable. This lack of loyalty out here, and everybody's selfish. So it's like, that's what I'm dealing with. I deal with a lot of that. And I don't know if that's why I guess that's the part I'm working on. I guess next time I come back and talk to you, I'm going to be like, all right, I got it, you guys. This is what happened.
Maybe also just who knows where that person is going to come from, the right person.
The right person. And
that you can trust, yeah.
One of your questions of what did he teach me, like, and it was to love, like, I don't let arguments go, and I always think the worst. Like if you and I were on the phone and you hung up on me, and I know you're in the wrong, I'd be like, I ain't calling you. You know, that's how we all are. We be like, no, you owe me an apology. I'm not calling you. Well, what I do now is ask myself if this person, because people die in seconds, and that's what I learned. Like, people die in literally seconds, and I'm like, if this person died, how would I feel? I literally ask myself those questions when I'm arguing with a friend or whatever the case may be. And I understand space and time, but for the most part, I do everything. You know, I'm at, me and my dad are at odds, and I called, I flew out there, I wrote, I did everything. Now, granted, he owes me an apology, you know, but I still didn't want to be you know how egotistic and prideful we are, and we let relationships do that. It's like, I didn't want that to be the case. I wanted to continue, and I will forever continue to give him the space to make that right. But if my mom like, well, how would you feel if he was to pass away? And I was like, I would be sad because that's my dad and I love him, and I will bury him, but I would not feel regret. And that's what I don't want to feel. So that's what his transition and taught me, that I don't want to. I have friends that I'll reach out to and be like, look, you did me wrong, but I do want to let you know that I love you, you know? And it's like, so return those phone calls. And even if you don't have time to talk to somebody, it takes less than 3 seconds to shoot a thinking about you, love you, hope all is well, let's catch up soon. Send a text out. So that's what I do now. When someone's on my mind, I'll text them immediately. That way they hear from me. If something was to happen, I'm like, man, I do remember telling them I love them. Like,
Right. So like what he showed you, it's like the whole really kind of the essence of the meaning of life, which is you're here to love.
Literally.
That we know nothing really, and we have no control other than being happy and being loving.
That's it.
That's all you have control over.
And it's like, do that. Choose that.
It really is so simple. I think it is too.
It's hard, but it's simple but hard.
Simple but so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you bring an outfit with you that is reflective of like a next level self-loving version of yourself in any way?
Yeah, so the outfit that I have is not, because I'm pretty much operating in that. So it's
fine.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
what the next fit I have on is actually has lover written across it. And I do want to start wearing more, of course, more black-owned brands, but not just black-owned, but up and coming.
What? You did not mention that the pants have
Bottle caps
all
sewn on.
over them.
Yes, I forgot about the microphone. I'm like,
What's the brand called?
I think it's called Beyond Measure. Beyond, yep, they're the deal.
I'll be looking
Yep, Beyond
at
Measure.
everything else.
That's what I was aiming for when you guys were saying, like, the new me. I don't wear much makeup, but the little bit I had on, I took off because I don't want to wear.
You don't need it.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
all I ever say to people is you don't need makeup. That's because when in the What's Underneath series where everyone is stripping down, but at the end when everyone takes everything off, including their makeup, to me that's always when the spirit and the beauty is like so
Radiant.
And when do you feel the most beautiful?
I feel the most beautiful when I'm in the shower. I feel like I'm just the baddest bitch in the world. Yeah, like when I'm in the shower, I enjoy that time because there's nothing I can do except be with myself. You know, I love every part of me, and I can tell because I choose to, like, I'm washing every part of me. The bottom of my foot, I just love. That's when I realize how much, like, okay, enjoy this moment. Like, there's no phone, there's no TV, there's no music, there's no nothing. It's just me, and that's when I just really enjoy that time. You know, we appreciate. I appreciate being able to just to inhale. Cause when my nose is stopped up, I'm always saying, I don't never want my nose to be stopped up. You know, think about when we're stuffy, and it's like we don't appreciate them things. You know, so it's like no, I appreciate just everything. Not having a cramp in my hand, and like I don't know how y'all are in the shower, but I be just stretching and letting the water fall. Like I hate when my hair is done and I can't get wet. No, I need to just be able to just enjoy this moment and be thankful that my limbs and my 10 toes and my hands and
all those little things, even being able to take a shower.
Take a hot shower as long as I want. You know, like I feel seen and I feel beautiful. And grateful.
What does success mean to you?
Success to me means when I can just do what I want, whatever that looks like. And that's why I say now that I am successful, I can do what I want to do. And I'm quiet because I'm wondering if that's really what I deem as my riches. You know, riches to me mean when you can do what you want to do. Because people, you know, I don't care if you only make $30,000 a year. Can you do whatever it is you want to do, you know? And for the things that I like to do, I'm able to do it. If I want that restaurant, I can go there. If I want to lay on a couch, if I want to turn my air on, or like whatever I want to do, that's success, you know?
It does take like steps. Like it takes belief, it takes like trust, it takes stepping into fears, it takes risks, it takes like when I think about you going for that reality TV show, you know, like where did that come from? Like, you know, that you just went and did that, and then suddenly you're in Barcelona, and then suddenly you're in Atlanta, and then suddenly you're in LA, and then suddenly you're in
on TV.
Yeah, and you're in a TV show playing the role that you love, and like it's it's just, I think that it's strength. It's like it takes vulnerability, it takes strength, it takes bravery.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I if you would ask me this probably 10 years ago, I would have thought success when I have $10 million, sitting in my account. That means I made it. And I don't know if I'll ever have $10 million sitting in my account. But I've already think that I've reached success, It changed. That money is no longer what success means to me. And that I never would have thought that. I always thought that I need to have the money. Yeah, that, I need the big house and the big, no. Of course, we want all these things, but I'm so successful. I like the way my mom loved me. Since I've been sitting here, I got 2 phone calls and they both was her. Like, that's another level of success, or, and growing up with my dad and, siblings and love, like that's
happiness is success.
That's success to me.
That's beautiful.
So that's why I'm like, working that dream job or being able to do your dream, even if you don't make money from being able to do it. So yeah, I feel like I'm operating in success, and there is more. There are things that I want, but I feel like I have all the tools to go get it. So I'm successful enough to where I have all the tools to go get it. I can. There's nothing between me and whatever it is I want except myself. So anytime I don't do something, I have nobody to blame. It's I really have to ask myself, Jonica, did you give that 100%? A lot of people, they don't have that choice. They don't have those backbones. They don't have stuff,
Or care. What you said earlier, which really struck me, is like caring. You care.
They don't care.
You care, and that's what's, you care. Like, yeah.
And because of that, because I care, that's why I'm able to say that's what success means to me. Like, I have it. I'm living in it. I'm operating in it.
What's one thing that you would tell your little Jonica, whatever age comes to mind, to never change about who she is?
I talked a lot. I got in trouble for talking. And then I went to a period where I stopped. And I would tell me that don't stop talking. Don't stop asking. Don't stop learning. I used to get in trouble, but I wish, my parents understood. I shouldn't be in trouble for talking. Just find something that's in the field of what show me that this is okay. Show me that there are jobs out here for this. Show me that there are others like me. They did the best they could. They didn't know. When I say I got in trouble, it was just like, I never got I got like one whooping my whole life. That's why I should have probably got so many whoopings. I got one whooping, but saying it to say, like, I talked a lot. I'm a talker. I was as a kid, and the teachers would try to silence me, and cause I had questions. I have questions when people talk to me about the Bible. It don't make sense. I got questions. You can't ask that. Why? Why can't I ask that? Or you don't ask me. So things like that. I just wish I would tell the younger me, keep talking, keep asking, and it's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Just keep talking and keep asking.
That's really amazing.
I'm glad you didn't stop talking.
Me too. So glad you didn't stop talking.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was absolutely the best couple of hours ever. Best Monday ever.
Man, I really enjoy you guys. Thanks for taking the time. And
hopefully this is just the
beginning. Well, can't wait to hear what happens in a couple of years with your journey, with your vulnerability and the dating stuff. I'm excited to hear.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone so much for watching this episode of our show, Don't Change a Thing with Jonica Booth. If you want to watch Jonica in her incredible show, Rap Shit, you can do so by watching it on Max, and stay tuned for another episode. If you want to be notified of when we drop new episodes, you can do so by subscribing to our channel at youtube.com/StyleLikeU. Please take a moment to share this episode. You never know who it might impact by doing so. And don't forget, if you want to listen to our podcast, you can subscribe by going to the Don't Change a Thing podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts, and subscribing to our newsletter at StyleLikeU.com.